And okay, Susaisu. Okay, first question is a normal question. When the band was formed, when the project starts?
We started the project at the end of 2019, so it was like a year ago. So we recorded first tracks at the end of December 2019, and we released them in early January. And then we had a first concert at the end of February 2020. So a couple of weeks before lockdown, basically before the first lockdown. So that was the first and only concert we did, basically, because then with COVID we didn't do anything since then.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were really lucky, as you can imagine.
So the Susaisu are a young band, and but the question is, you have played in other bands before?
Yeah, Giuseppe was in several projects before that, and he still is.
Yeah, I played 10 years ago in some Brussels band, and then after I started with another band now, like a French pop band where I play piano, but I wanted to play guitar, so I asked to Benjamin to make a project.
Okay.
That's how it came. But yeah, I played before in lots of bands in Brussels.
Okay.
And just for the record, we know each other for like, we've been friends for like forever.
2012 it was.
Yeah, I first met this guy in 2012.
It was when there was the competition, overall competition.
Yeah, when
Con l'Italia, Spagna, Fratelli.
Ah, great. Okay.
At this moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been friends ever since, and we decided to start a project together because I know that you wanted to play a bit more guitar, and I wanted to start something a bit more serious because I was just playing in my room and and singing on my own, and I wanted to go to the next step.
Who is Sue?
Oh, she's nobody. Nobody. We wanted to have a name that sounded good, and I really like the sound of the double Sue in the name. So that's why we picked up basically the name of the band, and no particular reason, just something that sounded good.
Okay, perfect. But in general, how is the musical scene in Brussels now?
It's quite rich actually, but Belgium in general, I would say, we are a very small country, but in terms of music and the music scene, we've had some pretty good bands, and we still have. I don't know if you know Balthazar.
Yeah.
They're from the north of the country. They're like a Flemish band. They're really super good, and we have in Brussels we have a good scene too. So yeah, obviously we all miss concerts and going to concerts and listening to music, but we especially in the alternative rock we do have very good bands, I think.
But in general, what are the trends in Belgium? The people hear electronic stuff, or what else?
There is a generation that maybe prefers like also hip hop music. Is very
hip hop is very big.
Very common at the moment.
Everywhere.
I think it's a matter of vibe.
I think now it's changing a little bit. I read an article 3 weeks ago. They were looking for some independent artists from the rock scene in Brussels. So maybe it will be a little change, but
it's a matter of fashion. Like you've got for like 5 years you will have the hip hop vibe leading the scene, and then rock comes back. But I think rock always comes back.
Yeah.
So,
but for me, it will be good if everything comes equally.
Okay.
Hip hop scene and also rock scene, because there was a time in Brussels, not in Brussels, but in the city Dour. It's a city in the south of Belgium. There was a festival where they made more rock music, and then after 3 or 4 years, they did only hip hop music or of less rock. So it will be nice if everything was more equal.
But yeah, I think, like Giuseppe said, it's nice to have the choice. Like basically, like in the 90s. In the 90s, you had rock music, you had hip hop, but that was the MTV golden ages, and you had access to all kinds of genres, and pop was huge at the time. So you basically, when I was watching MTV when I was a kid, you could have I don't know, like Jay-Z, and then the next song was Oasis, and then you had like I don't know, some Britney Spears. Like you had everything, like pop music to hip hop to rock and roll, and you had everything at the same time, which was really cool actually.
Like now, even in the night events, they changed their programmation. Like we have above Madame Moustache. In the time there was only rock and roll and a little bit of hip hop. Now it's all hip hop and rock, a little bit of rock and roll. They change.
According to the fashion of the moment.
Fashion, Instead of staying the same.
I will listen to two pieces, Wild Art and Take Me Down. Basically, you are a rock and roll duo. So, but the pieces are different moods. It's okay. The first maybe is rock and blues. The second has more melancholic sound.
Yeah.
In the second track, I saw an evolution of the band. So the music, the video is very nice. Is all very careful, very cool. Okay. But which is the sound of the band? Which sound are you close to? I mean,
we don't really like to label our music, but mostly we would say it's rock and roll with hints of blues, hints of folk music as well. We like to mix different genres, and that's probably because we listen to a lot of different styles and a lot of different artists. But mostly it has to have guitars. That's the rule. That's maybe the only rule that applies to our music. Apart from that, we're very open, and we like to make different styles as well. Like we would make Wild Heart that is pretty much let's say blues and rock.
Yeah.
And then Take Me Down, which is more like melancholic, more slow blues with a slow blues vibe to it. But yeah, we don't want to define our music. We prefer people to do that because we wouldn't want to stick to one genre because we have to, because we basically defined our music like that at the beginning. So and that's how we created at first. Like we decided to write songs that felt right writing, and then we released them. But we didn't think, okay, let's do a rock song with like using these kinds of chord progressions or this kind of we want this vibe. We basically just started writing music, and whatever felt right, we just decided to record it.
Yeah, so the sound comes naturally.
Yeah, pretty much. We have a very organic way to work together. We basically work hand in hand, the two of us, and usually one of us comes with a structure, like a skeleton of the song with a chord progression or an idea or a riff or something. And usually I'm in charge of the words and the lyrics, but then Giuseppe is more into the beats and the arrangements and so we complete each other in that sense.
Perfect. But are you working on an album or not?
We're working on an EP. We would like to release an EP. In the summer. But then we want to wait for the concerts to be back, because there is no point in having merch and not being able to sell it to the audience. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No,
So that's why we're waiting, and that gives us the chance to work on new music. So when we release the EP, we just choose the best ones, and
we're still creating. So we will pick up the best songs that we have.
Okay, during the lockdown, a lot of bands or artists recorded something new, or all the time play, like Nick Cave, for example. Big names have recorded a new album in lockdown. So, how did you experience in the lockdown?
We basically so we both have jobs. We don't live from our music yet. So we have our jobs, but apart from that, we stayed creative. We recorded a song in June 2020. I think May 2020, something like that. Bright Blue Eyes. You probably have seen it. It's also on YouTube. We made a video out of this song, and it's an animated video. So we worked on that. We released it in May or June. I can't really remember. But then and then we went back to the studio end of this year to record 3 songs. Among them, Wild Heart and Take Me Down, and we have a third one coming up. So we still have to release the third one we recorded. So we stayed active. We didn't rest a lot.
Okay. At last, to search for the band on the web, Facebook or what?
Yeah, we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We're maybe a bit more active on Instagram. We're on Spotify, of course. And
YouTube
and every let's say everywhere where you can listen to digital music, where we exist. So you can find us on Deezer, Amazon Prime, whatever you're using, iTunes, whatever. But
But the main is Instagram.
We
post a lot there.
We post a bit more on Instagram.
Salut Archéo, nous sommes tous à Ipsou et on vient de Bruxelles.
Hi.